How you doing? My name is Raymond, and I want to welcome you to the first episode of Additional Prayers. It falls under the category of my previous podcast, Passion Over Profit. Um, in this episode, we'll be discussing the topic of why do I talk about the good when there's so much evil in the world. Um, for you guys that may be watching this on social media, I just want to give you a heads up. I'm recording this for the podcast as well. We'll be defining words such as conversation, um, observation, knowledge, judgment, good, bad, damage, hurtful, reasoning, reality, and truthful. Um, the reasoning behind the podcast is to show other individuals that it is okay to live a normal life with also having a strong prayer life. Um, one side note, we're gonna be defining the word "world" in the sense of behind the title. Um, the title, additional prayers, comes along with the goal behind the podcast as unifying the everyday with the everyday prayer life. I'm trying to make it better for others to understand that it is okay and they're not alone in different situations. The verses that we'll be reviewing will come from Philippians 3 and it'll be verses 13 through 15. And we're going to have some bonus words we're going to find relating to the verses. It's going to be a parent, brother, and it's going to be defining the word perfect. Throughout the podcast, I want to encourage everybody that might watch this or read along. Try to get your own interpretation of this. This is just my simple thought. I'm not here to push anything on anybody, or I'm not here to force anything. I'm just here to educate, give you my point of view on the subject at hand. For the ones that might be watching this on social media, to give you an idea, I get my verses from the King James Version of the Bible. That's the only Bible that I follow. So feel free to, like I said, once again, read along and get your interpretation on the subject. Jump right into it. Conversation. Conversation is defined as informal interaction. It can be something that goes along with your thought process. There's several ways. It could be spoken word. It can be done in sign language, or simply as your body language. Observation. Observation is defined as noticing, watching, or something that is learned by paying attention. Knowledge, or to have knowledge. It is the state of knowing, awareness, or information. Judgment. Judgment is defined as something that is option formed or opinion formed. Um, we use our common sense or our reasoning. Good. Good is known as something that may be righteous, honorable, beneficial, or something that is positive. Bad is often looked at as something that maybe is wicked, defected, can cause sickness or discomfort. Damaging is evil, um, something that is negative, or something that can harm you. Hurtful is something that is destructive, nasty, upsetting, or poisonous. Reasoning is something can be summed up as something we use our logic or we rationalize it. Um, reality are the facts. It is taken as a whole, or often said as the bottom line. Truthful is defined as something that you believe, or something that may be true blue, or something that is precious to you. Once again, the title is "What? Why do I talk about the good when there's so much bad in the world?" Um, Defining the word "world" is simply as something as humankind or mankind. Your world is also known as an individual's interests or someone's personal environment. Um, the verse, once again, is coming from Philippians chapter 3, verses 13 through 15. And it reads, "Brethren, I count not myself to be or to have apparent, but this one thing I do, forget those things which are behind, and I reach forth unto those things which are before." Verse 14 reads, I pass towards the mark, I press towards the mark for the prize of the high calling of God in Christ Jesus. Verse 15 reads, "Let us therefore, as many as be perfect, be thus mindful, and if anything ye be otherwise mind, God shall reveal even this unto you." I chose these verses to get an understanding to each other, that, like I said, that you're not in every situation alone. To go along with the title, like I said, why do I keep talking about the good when there's bad in the world? It starts off in verse 13. It says, "Brethren." Brethren is defined as fellow members, someone you relate to, or have you're actually a relative of. And so when this is written, it's showing you that you all on the same level. You all come from the same similar background. It says, "I cannot." I said, "I count not myself to have a hindrance." You know, a precedence. I'm sorry, a precedence is also known as something that is understood, or something that is taken in, believed, or recognized. It doesn't take a precedence because it's individuals saying that we all are in this together. But it says, one thing I do, forget those things that which are behind me. It's saying that he often forgets his past, but he says he reaches forth into those things that which are before. We often try to forget our past on certain subjects, but with that said, we need to also be going forward in progress. We should never be settled in a certain situation. Verse 14, it breaks down as, "I press towards the mark for the prize of the high calling of God in Christ Jesus. My interpretation to break that down is it goes along with verse 13 when he says, reaches forth into the things which are before, meaning to get to press towards the mark in the sense of trying to gain something, or in a spiritual sense is to gain everlasting life, to gain something that's going forward. And from a Christian point of view, the press towards the mark is to walk a Christian life, to walk a Christian walk. That to me is that goes along with the good, but first you got to have the knowledge, or like I said before, a state of knowing. You got to know where you are in the situations, and you must strive towards the mark, or you got to strive towards good, the righteous, the honorable, the beneficial, or something that's positive. When in verse 13, when he said, forget not those things which are behind, to me is that is something that was bad or damaging or possibly hurtful, because it is something that was negative. Either something that may have been wicked, or something that is that was destructive. And goes on to verse 15. 15 reads, let us therefore, as many as be perfect, be thus minded. And if anything ye be otherwise minded, God shall reveal these things unto you. To break that down, I looked at it as the sense of the word perfect is defined as something that is unmixed, something that is suitable, or something that is accomplished. If you first understand what God is requiring of you, that's what he said, as many as you be perfect, much as you can do for yourself, the much effort you can put in yourself, or you might look at it as the reasoning, there's something that's the logic behind it, or to rationalize it, and go, you rationalize the situation, you figure out what it takes to get to that situation. And it says, God shall reveal even these things unto you. If it says it's going to reveal those things unto you, he's saying he's going to reveal the good and the bad. And you must already have the reality or the fact of, or the bottom line, or you must always be truthful. Something that is you believe in, something that's believable, or the true blue. He's going to show you the whole situation. He's going to be the ultimate judge in whatever the situation is. And like I said, with the title, why do I talk about so much good? I had an individual approach me and was under the impression that when someone tries to educate, they only educate on the good things. And in a way I do agree with that, in a way I don't. I agree because when it comes to something that is good, we often learn it last. We are always surrounded by something that is negative, and every day we do, be it peer pressure, or be it some simple as trying to learn something, we often gravitate towards the negative, and we have to learn the good way or the correct way later. And that's why the idea, like I said, with the behind the podcast and the YouTube channel or social media, wherever you may watch it on, is to be unified. To unify each other is to to combine everyday life with everyday prayer, because the more you lean towards doing something good, the less bad you should have. It's like filling up a glass. if you pour more water into it, you're going to have less air. In the same sense as you pour more good into your life, the less bad you're going to have. Not saying that you're going to eliminate it, but it should overpower. I just want to thank you guys for watching and listening to the first episode of Additional Prayers. As you can see my background, if you're watching this on social media, and if you're listening to this, I want to thank you personally. It means a lot. Got big plans for the future, and it's just going to grow thanks to you guys.